In cases where the defendant driver is charged with a DUI or DWI for driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, there's particular language that we need to include in our complaint so that we can receive judgment for punitive damages in addition to the economic and non-economic damages. So we start with our basic complaint format for either a Tier 1 or Tier 3. Typically, I would expect a complaint that includes a claim for punitive damages to be a Tier 3 complaint. And then we go to our complaint forms and we use our complaint -DUI punitives language. So where we're going to add this is the section will go the general allegations. It'll be an additional paragraph here that basically says at the time of the complaint the defendant was voluntarily under the influence of, and then we would list either drugs or alcohol based on what the police report shows. Then we do our count 1 for our general negligence claims, listing all the damages that have been incurred. And then down here we would do our second count, and the second count language is going to be this punitive damages language. And so we copy that in. And in this language, we reaffirm that the defendant drove negligently. We again describe that the defendant was under the influence of either drugs or alcohol or whatever. And then as a result of those things, we discuss if, like, perhaps this is if the defendant, and this is actually the wrong code. This is going to be 78B3 something. But in this case, if the plaintiff lived for some period of time before the death, then there are survival damages that can be claimed. If the person's alive, then we just do the same types of damages that were indicated above. So, this is claims for the heirs, this is claims for funeral damages. This language needs to remain for sure about punitive damages. And then we bear the tier as well. And then in the prayer, so likely we would not do a submission of the claim to arbitration. I don't believe punitive damages can be awarded through arbitration, so we wouldn't want to have that. And then under the prayer for relief, we need to make sure that we add punitive damages. So you can copy this paragraph in or just add punitive damages to the existing prayer for relief.